Welcome to the Tim Heale podcast, or the Tim Heale live stream, should I say. Good evening. How are we all doing out there? Well, we've got a packed evening for you this evening. I've got some guests hopefully joining in fairly soon. But until they do, it's me. So, what can I say? Welcome to another Tim Heale live stream. Just going to check a couple of bits and pieces to make sure that we're doing what we should be doing. What is this? That's interesting. Does anybody know out there how you get this on Twitter? Because it should be going live on Twitter, but I can't see it at the moment. I've got my monitors up here. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll just bring that up. I'm going to take that down for a minute. So this is the studio. This is my setup. So I've got monitors here, what I'm monitoring stuff. So hopefully we should be able to see what's going on here. So might need to search for it. Bomb, we're in. Oh no. Oh no. How do we shut that up? This might be a drama. Turn it right down. That's it. That should be off. And we're up and running. Here we are. So I'm just waiting for guests to turn up now. So as you can see, I have got 2 new light boxes, which should give a much clearer picture. They're uplighter, so what do you think? Does it look cool? Does it look good? Over that side of the desk, I've got the mic set up for my my guest. If I've got a guest coming on the show, I haven't got anybody coming in at the moment, but I've got people joining online. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a couple of things where we're going to start. So, I've done some playing today. So, hopefully, today is going to be what this is all about. Today it's all about you guys pinging me in a message in the chat box to just change that over so I don't see any chat coming in. So ping in the message, ping in a topic that you want us to speak about, and we'll go from there. So that's what that's all about. Next week, I'm going for another mental health special. Next week, I'm not going to concentrate just on veterans. I'm going to concentrate on general mental health issues. So, without further ado, first thing I want to have a little word about is Afghanistan. And it hasn't gone away. In fact, it's got worse. Because there's so much going on with Ukraine at the moment, it's taken the media's eye off of what is going on in Afghanistan. There is close to something like 25 million, that's 25 million people going into starvation. The conditions in Afghanistan at the moment are horrendous. There's snow, it's wet, it's cold, and people haven't got enough food. The Taliban aren't doing anything at all to help these people. In fact, they made the whole situation worse. And it couldn't have got much worse than it was. However, there are still some interpreters stuck in the country, and there's still a lot of those other people that worked for the Allied forces that are still stuck in the country. The problems they're having is that they're having difficulty getting passports. The passport office is don't know what they're doing, whether they're working to rule or whether they're being dictated to by the Taliban or what's going on. But passport applications are taking months to come through, which is having a knock-on effect with people that are looking at leaving the country, unable to get a passport to leave the country. The Taliban, as I understand, have also put a ban on people leaving the country. So I'm not quite sure what they're doing or where they're going to go from there. But like I said, there are millions of people starving. Also, so with an awful lot of the aid that was destined for Afghanistan is being redirected to the Ukraine at the moment. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. However, what I do know is that the situation in Afghanistan hasn't gone away and is getting worse. And I don't know what we can do about it other than highlight that problem to just pop an email to your local MP saying, look, we understand what's going on in Ukraine, but Afghanistan hasn't gone away and there are 25 million Afghans that are in dire straits in the country. So that's my bit on Afghan. We might talk about it again later when we get some guests in, but what else we've got? So I picked up this and look on ITV News were covering the story a little while ago, and they are in dire straits. I don't know what else I can say. Anyway, J.K. Rowling's in the news again over what is going on in in Scotland. What is it with these people? These transgender rights people that don't understand the problem. They're jumping on a problem that isn't really there. There's a tiny, I mean, mind you, it's not even 0.001% of the population that are transgender. Yet we've got these soy latte drinking middle class irks that are offended for them. And you speak to half of or any of the people that are transgender, all they want to do is get on with their lives. They've gone through a horrendous time as it is. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like living in a body that you don't like and then going through all the drama of changing it to become something you're more happy with. But come on, let's just let these people get on. They're a protected characteristic. They don't need these irks jumping on the bandwagon, fighting their cause, because they don't need to, because they're protected anyway. But there you go. And poor old JK is getting it right in the neck for it, for saying that there are actually two genders. There's a male and there's a female. Males are born with a prostate and females are born with a cervix. There, I said it. I've probably been banned already. I'm being taken down as we speak. But it's just a nonsense. It's just nonsense what they're going through and what they're coming out with. Well, there you go. Are you one of these people that get offended by somebody else's dilemma? Anyway, let's carry on. Where are we getting to next? Oh, this is looking good. The new film's coming out. It's weeks away. The Secrets of Dumbledore. I'm looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this. I think because it's been so long in the coming, since the last one, they're hopefully it's going to live up to expectation. The last one was a little bit. The first one was good. The second one was, yeah, you're thinking, what are they going to do with this next? But I think this next one, the Secrets of Dumbledore, I think that's going to be quite good, actually. I certainly hope so. Certainly, JK's had an awful lot of input in it, apparently. So, here's some of the pictures from the trailer. So, have a go full of that. So, in this picture, you can see that the young Dumbledore's got hold of, I think it's the tongue of, what's his face? Grindelwald. So I think it's out on I think we're looking at the 8th of April. So just a few short weeks away, and it'll be in the cinemas, and we have to go and get the tickets. And because now, let's face it, now they haven't, there aren't any restrictions. So we're back to, I mean, with the Ukraine kicked off, COVID's gone away. We don't have any COVID anymore. So, so we can go to the pictures and have a great time. So this is what they put out recently. So you've got a few bits and pieces going on. So Beast 3 brings back Potter characters. So that there's I think there's a young Professor McGonagall, a young Minerva. Obviously, there's a young Dumbledore as well. So let's see what comes out of this. Really looking forward to it. It should be a really good one. And in the trailers, there's been 2 or 3 or 4 trailers already. What's her face? What's her name in the middle there? I can't think what her name is. Anyway, she's only just been picked up in the trailer, so whether she's going to take a big part or not is something else. Oh, I might save this one for a bit later. The latest comedians, the latest vandals, the latest jokers call themselves not stinking rebellion. They're tire extinguishers or something, and they go around. There you go, tire extinguishers, and they go around letting tires down in London on SUVs, on people's cars. Is that right? Is that right? I mean, that's out and out vandalism. It's actually worse than gluing yourself to the road, I think. But these stinking rebellion lot are on about it now. I saw something in the press. They're still. I mean, this is what they're doing. They're sticking these notices on people's cars because they've let all their tyres down, which is, I mean, that's just vandalism. That's just criminal damage. And I hope that they will get caught and have the full force of the law thrown at them, chuck the key away and all that. Well, so anyway, moving on. Have you seen the price of fuel? Jesus Christ. In our area, it's £1.72 a litre. Just soak that up. £1.72 a litre. Just the other day, it was £1.51. And now it's £1.72. You couldn't make it up. What's going on? Ukraine gets attacked and our oil prices go up. And we've already got the highest prices of fuel in in the Western world. So, yeah, I took this off of the RAC Fuel Watch, and they're coming out with these average prices. Well, they ain't average round here, as a way above it. And I saw somebody put in £2 a litre. I think it won't be long before we're all paying £2 a litre for it. It's just, where's it going to end? I mean, we're already starting to see hikes in our fuel bills, our heating bills. Gas prices are going up through the roof. They reckon this year's going to be about £2,000 on top of what you normally pay. And they reckon next year maybe £3,000 to £4,000 if this doesn't, if this Ukraine crisis doesn't go away. Oh, I needed that. So, what are your thoughts? So, if there's anybody out there, can you just ping us a comment in the chat box and say hello, and maybe put in a question. See what you think. See if you've got to. I'm not actually sure this is working. Anybody out there? Let me try. I can't do that one. Let me try this one. Oh, let's see if this does work. See if that comes up in the chat box. Yeah, so anybody that's on Faceache can put something in the what's name, in your doobry, in the chat box. So if you want to have a go at that, let's see if this will go without mucking it all up. I'll need that one. Yep, so there we go. Let's check this. See if that works. That should pop up in the chat box as well. It might take a second or two to come through, but I think there we go. So that now is working on YouTube. So we're getting, so there's no excuses for you out there. So stick a comment in the chat box and say hello, and tell us where you're from. Just need another swig of this. It's me coffee. Oh. So I'm sure I got it right. I'm sure everybody out there, let's see if that one works. That should work as well. Yeah, so let's work it on Twitch as well. So we're pushing out on 3 different platforms. In fact, we're pushing out on 5 platforms. So we're going out on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. So somebody sooner or later should come in and say hello. I just finished my coffee. I think it's going to be a long night if people don't start helping us out. Help! So, fuel prices, crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand why it's gone so up so quick. I mean, it just beggars belief. I put it down as profiteering, actually. I think all these oil companies are just profiteering. They've all got together and say, right, let's with this crisis, we can't get Russian oil, so we'll have to. It's all going to have to go up everywhere else. Well, it's gone up pretty rapid. You noticed that it goes up a lot quicker than it comes down. It takes them forever to bring it down. What happens if I take my hat off? Gets warm in it. So, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this. So hopefully I'm going to get somebody to join me. How about I join myself? There we are. Look, let's drop that down. Here's me. This is the setup. What do you reckon to it? I've got 2 green screens. So when I'm a guest, I can have a green screen. And I have a green screen. I'm in a pub. So I can put a pub. We change the background. Let's have a quick see if I can swap the background about. Let's tell you what. Let's go all posh, shall we? Go posh. There we go. Oh. So, welcome to my lounge. Oh. So let's take that down again. Pop this back up. So we've got outrageous oil prices at the moment. It's actually berserk. It's bizarre. It's so bizarre. Here we go. So the stinking rebellion lot, they're on about now. They're on about blockading fuel depots next month. They're now against fossil fuels, refineries. So one or two things is going to happen there. I mean, they've lost. Let's face it, they've lost the public's support. I don't think they ever actually had it, but they've lost a huge amount of support with messing up people's lives, with blocking the motorways and stuff. And then we had all that crisis with lack of drivers and all the rest of it. No, there wasn't. So there's about only 3 fuel stations that couldn't get fuel, and it started a massive panic. People then the mainstream media got on it, and there's a massive shortage of drivers. You can't get fuel, so everybody went absolutely berserk and shot off, and you couldn't make it up. The queues outside the petrol stations, and it wasn't a crisis at all. I'll tell you what it was really about. Now, this is my theory, and I'm going to stick to it. But you remember when we was in lockdown? I don't know whether you remember the story. It didn't make an awful lot of the press, but there was where all the oil producing countries carried on producing oil, and nobody was driving because everybody was locked down for months on end, not using the cars, unable to get out. They run out of storage for all this fuel that they'd been bringing in. And what happened was they got to a point where they've got all this old fuel. I mean, it's only got a shelf life once they've refined it and stuff. And then what they do is they created this problem, saying, there's a problem with getting fuel, and there's a lack of drivers, and don't panic buy, there's plenty of fuel. And then all of a sudden people are queuing around the blocks to get fuel and filling up jerry cans and filling up plastic bottles and what have you. And then all of a sudden that problem went away fairly quickly, didn't it? Did you notice how quickly that problem went away? Yes. That one you couldn't make up, but they did. They made that work, didn't they? That did go down like a lead balloon. It was over quicker than it started. Oh, here we go. We've got a guest coming in. Are you ready, William? You ready to come and join us? Here we go then. Bring you into the... There you go. You're in.
Blimey. I'm in the funhouse now.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
What do you reckon to the new...
hang on a minute.
My new studio.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't like the colour of the walls, but that's just my opinion.
oh, can I shall I change it?
Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh, you've got another one then? You got another green screen, and I see Tim.
You've got a green screen for the guests. So if you have guests in, then we can put a green screen behind them.
Brilliant.
Obviously, I did that.
Nice.
I did that with Gordon. So
Oh,
but he
oh,
went,
have you done him now? Then have you?
yeah, I did him yesterday. He
Oh,
went on for about how long did I have him for? 2.5 hours. So
oh mate.
it's I think what we might need to do with that is I need to edit it down. But I suggested to Gordon that what we do is we'll go over to the club. I'll set up so we can do it as a presentation, and then we can tailor it right down because I think
Oh, I see.
two
Yeah.
and a half 2.5 hours is a bit long to put up on a WhatsApp.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the podcast, that might be a bit more acceptable, but for it to be displayed in the exhibition, it isn't really because it's going to be too long of a story. But I mean, so yeah, good. I've been quite busy this week with the group.
Yeah, we've been
As
up
well
to.
as, huh?
We've been up to.
So we've been doing a little bit more of the Falklands research with Caroline. Going to be speaking to her again sometime this evening or morning for her in Canada.
Yeah,
So a history week. Spoken to Kerry again over at the Portsmouth Naval Base Property Trust about
yeah.
the Foxtrot 8, and I've also launched a new thing for my own self called the Hidden War Diaries.
Oh,
So that's not a part of the group or anything like that. It's my own type of project. It's where me and my buddies go around to different historical places, not just in the UK, but we're planning on going to Germany later this year if it hasn't been blown up by a nuclear bomb yet.
did I do that out loud?
So yeah, so it's all.
I mentioned it once. I thought I got away with it. Do I look smart for the
Say no more.
do I look smart for the live stream?
Yeah, good.
I thought I'd dress up for it.
I think you need to. I think you need to name me your technician.
Oh, go on then. How's that coming on?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm gonna plug it again tonight. You haven't posted that thing I put up because I looked for the main page and it hasn't been posted. So I'll post that in a minute.
I'm sure I made a couple of little adjustments to it, and then I've put it up. Or did I send it back to you with adjustments?
You think you sent it back to me?
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I put a couple of adjustments on it, a couple of changing the words, and then send it back to you. I thought you was going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'll post it. What might be an idea is, have you thought about doing an umbrella so that your podcasts come under the Tim Heale something?
Well, other than on my Doobie, what's it thing? Other than on my profile.
No, I mean, if you're looking at a broader picture for your podcasts, and obviously you're getting into different things like live streaming, things like that. What time is it appropriate to call it podcasting? That makes any sense. So shouldn't you have, say, the Tim Heale Productions, or a relevant name to that, and then under that you have your podcasts, your live streams, your YouTube.
Well, like that. So, Series 5 live stream.
No, I mean, we can talk about it another time, but
Well, we've got time now. I've got plenty of people listening. He says.
how many have we got?
I think there's two.
Oh,
That
well,
might be
hello,
me.
number two.
That might be
One of
me.
them's probably me.
So I'm not quite
Give
sure
us a
how
comment.
it works. Yeah. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, I'm going to give the floor to you for a few minutes. Put you on the spot. You ready?
What do you mean to talk about?
Whatever you like. You have a waffle on for a couple of minutes or a minute while I just nip out to the loo. Ready?
Go on then. So I'm Tim Heale. No, I'm joking. So it's a little bit of history about me. I'm the founder of the Portsmouth Gospel History Group, a local organisation, not to where Tim is. Well, he is, but he's more of a broader topic. So we cover the ancient, the modern history of the local area. And we've also done a few projects involving Tim's channel. So he's now the head of media at Portsmouth Gospel History. He's currently developing our Falklands 40th documentary that involves a few of the veterans, as you just heard a minute ago. I can't see any comments, so if you're commenting, I can't answer any questions or anything like that, because Tim has that type of control over the podcasts and the live streams. But so that's a little bit about me. I'm also the head of one of our biggest projects, which is History Week. So you'll get a little bit of insight now, because we're actually working with the Wessex Archaeology. Now, they're quite a big organisation based and HQ'd at Salisbury in Hampshire, I think it is. And through this development, we're calling it a mutual development of this festival, culture and heritage, which is new for 2022. Last year we done which was very successful, and it created a lot of interest, which was going to be there because of our pre-existing profile in the area as a new history group, but also as one that's going to be ambitious and doesn't mind tackling things that other organisations might do, which is coming down to the point of projects. We've had a couple of projects this year that has failed, but we don't shut the door and say that's enough for us. Next thing for us to do is keep looking and keep trying to uncover the stories of the area. So as I say, History Week, you're doing well. So the actual History Week is going to be from the 1st to 7th of August, where we... Oh, I'm coming back now.
Yeah, back in the room.
How was that?
Yeah, it's good. I could actually hear you all the way through. So you're doing well.
Huh?
You're doing well. So
what was that? Sorry, I didn't hear it. It lagged out.
Oh, sorry. You're doing well.
Oh, good.
So,
okay. Well,
they
that's
all
always
know about
reassuring.
where you come from, what you're doing, and how you got me into it all.
Well, yeah. I mean,
which is good.
I wasn't really sure what to talk about other than that. I don't really know what you do. So it's a time for a question. What got you into podcasting, Tim?
Well, actually, it was before lockdown. The first one, way back in sort of. I was doing ancestry, so I started off with ancestry, and I was looking at my family's history. And I mean, if you've not looked at ancestry, give it a go, because what happens with ancestry is that you start off with yourself, you put your siblings in, you put your parents in, and then from there they find links. So and you work your way back to your grandparents, your great grandparents, and it goes like that. It just spreads out, and the more you look at it, the more information you get in, the more information that they give you, and it sometimes it's quite difficult weeding out some of the wheat from the chaff, but you can generally, I mean, go back 2 or 3 generations quite easily, and yes, you can identify who's who. So it was I found my great granddad, who was in the Royal Navy. He was a chief stoker, and he lived here in Portsmouth, just across
Yeah.
the harbour from where we are. And I thought that'd be really great if I could have had a chat with him, see what his life was
Mm.
like. I mean, without being able to time travel at the moment, can't do that. So, and the same with my granddad. My granddad was
No.
in the Navy. He was in the Dardanelles during the First World War, got injured, and had a bone replaced in his forearm, and
Mm.
titanium bone in his arm. And he was um, a screenwriter. He wrote tunes. He directed films and all that sort of thing. So I found out all that
Right.
about him, and then we got thrown into that absurd lockdown, that first one where we couldn't
Yeah.
do anything. And from my perspective, I was drinking a little bit too much of this stuff. Hang on, I'll show you. I was drinking a little bit too much of this stuff here. So
Can never drink too much, Tim.
what what I did was I thought this can't go on because if nothing else, my liver will take a right bashing. So what can I do? And one of my old jobs, I used to do a lot of audio recording and editing and stuff like that. So I thought, well, can't do my
Mm.
granddad's, my great granddad. What about if I do me? So I thought, right, I'll tell my life story. So
Yeah.
so that's how it started. I did 24 half an hour episodes of my life, and then
Blimey.
did a couple more episodes where I went a little bit more in depth to some of the trips and things I did. Like I did 6 trips to Morocco, and the Morocco.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the 6 trips I did to Morocco, that episode has the most downloads so far.
Blimey.
It's
Well, maybe you
just
needed
didn't make it up.
maybe you needed to go on another trip.
Yeah, so I don't know why that one took so many hits, but it did, and then I got to the end of that. I thought, what do I do? How do I carry on with this? So then I started thinking, well, how about doing other people? So I did. So I started with my mother. My mother was the first one I did. So I went and had a chat with her, and we talked about her life, and then it's kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah.
I had I had access to an awful lot of people down at the yacht club, so I've spoken to an
Mm.
awful lot of um, Navy types and got their stories, and that
Had a head start.
and then it started to dry up a bit. So back in January, or well, just go back slightly, when it started to dry up, sort of in last year, um, I wanted to keep it going. So what I did was um, I went on the rant. I started up a series
Oh, those
called
ones are quite good because you.
where I just thought
Well, I
sit and
quite
talk
like listening
rubbish
to
to
this.
the camera.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And I think actually doing your rants and things like that and getting your opinion across, many people might not agree with it, Tim, but it's
yeah,
still exercising that right of freedom of speech, which I think sometimes, well, most times now,
yeah, it
is
kind of
being
gets a bit
trampled
lost
down.
at times, doesn't it? That.
Exactly.
So anyway, so whether people agree with my opinion or not, I don't care. It was my
No,
opinion, and it
exactly.
was something that I enjoyed doing. Anyway, back in
Exactly.
January, I picked up on this um, pod match. It's called Pod Match, and to date, I'm not quite sure where I am. I have done, I think, 16 interviews so far. I've got another 15 in in the pipeline, and I've got another half a dozen to schedule. I don't know where we're coming or going.
Yeah.
So
Quite
it's
a
really,
busy
really tough trying to keep up with it.
Yeah.
So
No. That's what it was like when when obviously when the group started to expand. Just before we launched into a committee-based group, I had no time. It was like William, this, and then James came along. It was
yeah,
James, William, and then you came along, Liz and Bailey, and now we've got a new member. Don't know if you saw the message. Ellis Diggle.
yeah, seen that.
He signed the old
He's
no
come on
point of
board.
going back. Yeah. So he'll be joining us on our next committee meeting. He's not really sure what he wants to do within the
Get him onto get him onto Portsmouth.
events over in Portsmouth.
Yeah, that's the way. Get him on to
I didn't tell
Portsmouth.
you. We had the Well, I mean, he's not really experienced in that type of field, as much as maybe we are. So he needs a little bit of a bit of motivation for that. Yeah, a bit of a steer. But on the History Week home front in Portsmouth, we've got the organ project in restoration project, and they're opening up for a few days to show people their organs, which is great. And you can have a chance of naming your own bit of the organ.
Pipe.
Yeah.
Name your own pipe.
Yeah, literally.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's a great project. Obviously, really happy to be supporting him in it. What else? What else have I been doing? I mean, we're getting a little bit about my history of why I started the group. Was when I was a little bit younger, I visited Hard. I don't know if I've actually shown you the house, but as you walk along the promenade from the sailing club, you come across these three cottages which look really out of place now with all the big flats either side. And they used to be the old MOD housing for the police there. And you've actually still got a part of the original, the original gate to the ammo depot there. And obviously, I suppose spending a little bit of my time down there has infused that interest. And obviously, the group appeared. So that's a little bit about me and why I started the group up.
Anyway, before you came in, I was going through some of this stuff here. So we were talking about this lot here, stinking rebellion, I call them, and some of the antics that they're on about coming up with. They're on about now blocking fuel depots.
It's nice that they give us a little bit of a warning as well.
Yeah, I might just go and meet them down there.
Yeah.
Maybe explain in graphic detail the errors of their ways. Take them around the back and explain it in graphic details. You're doing wrong.
Yeah.
There are better ways of doing it than the way they go about it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, all that chaos that they were causing were gluing themselves to the road. I mean, mental, absolutely mental.
I know. I mean, I think this is the one that is on about like climate change and things. But I've always said the amount of glue they use, sticking themselves to the roads, the factories have got to work extra hard producing.
Yeah, they don't get that, do they?
They're not all to blame. And then you've got the old Insulate Britain. It's all that about.
It's the same lot, isn't it? Stinking rebellion, insult Britain. Yeah, they certainly had gone about it the wrong way. They certainly know how to wind people up. And
there's some videos of people being so infuriated by them that they run them over on purpose.
Yeah, I think, and the worst thing about it is that the people that trying to get on with their lives, and they attack these people. They're the ones that get nicked for it. And these stinking rebellion that insult Britain, but had got a slap on the wrist for it until they locked a few of them up. They're on about coming back at it. Oh, here we go.
I mean,
one of my favourite subjects.
Oh, I tell you, I have to hold my mouth. I have to glue it shut these days because some of the people at my college are very out there, shall we say? And there's nothing wrong with that. But
I'm totally for it. Look, I'll show you my pronouns. There you go. That's what I identify as. I'm a retired colour sergeant. You can call me Sir, Mister, Top Bloke, Geezer, or Male.
Well, let's just say there was a very heated discussion in one of my classes. And then the teacher was saying, "Oh, you can't be saying stuff like that. You can't." And I was all quiet in the corner, mind business. Because if I mentioned my opinions, that's it. The college was shut down because they've had a massive outcry of wokeness. And then one of them was going, "I identify as a blimmin' retard shield," and the other one was saying, "Oh, I identify as a cow." I was sitting there, and they're being plain as day. They're not joking. They somehow, in their minds, they're a cow or they're an alien. What are they?
Idiots, mainly.
Yeah, I think there has to be a point that it's more of a social thing. Oh, I am this. Yeah. I'm that. I mean, no, you're male or female, or what? What else are you? I mean, some people are generally born the wrong sex.
Well, I mean, they're like there's male, female, and there's hermaphrodite, and then you come into people that feel that they were born in the wrong body and they want to trans. Fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have an issue with them at all. I don't have a problem with people wanting to be gay. What I have a problem is having it bloody rammed down my throat day in, day out. And people taking offence on their behalf. I know a few trans. Trust me, I know a few trans. In fact, there's a trans that looks after my motorbike.
I mean, I've got.
It's not an issue.
Exactly. I mean, as I say, I've got no problems with them. Anyone, as long as they're not doing anything hurting people or anything like that.
Well, they don't, do they? Most trans people just want to get on with their lives the best they can. They don't want
and I think
fighting their
and that's where I was saying earlier. Well, that's it. And I mean, when I was saying about earlier, is it's a social thing now where people think it's cool to say that they're a Z. That is apparently a gender, a Z. Whereas these people who are actually trans, who have struggled, to properly, I suppose, turn into what they're meant to be, are being shadowed by these woke people who want a crusade to make a difference that doesn't need to be different.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a look at what it is to not be woke, look at the youngsters in Ukraine. Look at what they're doing. They are standing up to the Russians. They are turning up to their town halls. They're drawing weapons. Civilians drawing weapons to go and take on the Russians because they're coming into.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I mean, what was that? Sorry, it lagged.
Can you imagine that happening here? If we got invaded by the Russians, do you think after your compatriots would turn to fight for our rights, or would they?
I mean, I would.
What a pronoun was.
Exactly. I mean, I would, if I was given the opportunity to conscript into the army or something like that, to help something like this if we were invaded. But I mean, when you look at my generation, I hate to say it because I do get tarnished, because I'm of that age now, where most of my peers are either dressing up
You've gone frozen on me.
or you're on the other spectrum where they can't find out who they are. They're Zeds, or you've got the small amount of people and the minority majority that gets forgotten about is people like myself who are just I don't want to say normal, but I mean,
Well,
like
sensible.
yes, that's
Use the
sensible.
term sensible, because
You have the common sense.
it is a load of nonsense what these comedians
Mm.
think they're doing. I mean, there's a war raging right on our doorstep, and they're worrying about their pronouns, or somebody said a few hurty words to them. But you couldn't make it up.
I mean, I was always brought up sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me.
Precisely.
I mean, I used to come out. I just go, oh, someone's called me, so and so. And Dad used to say that. It says that, and
Oh,
have they physically hurt you? No. Yeah.
give them a
Don't tell it
thump.
was me. Well, here's a little funny story. Bailey.
Yep.
We went for a period of absolutely hating each other to the point that we've proper had a Volt Fisty go, and and ever since it's been fine.
Yeah.
I think when you have such a close relationship with a friend, you do get that point where you really hate each other, and you've got to have that moment where you've got to punch each other to make up and love each other again. I mean, so.
No, I never did with my best mate.
Huh?
I said I never did that with my best mate. So
Maybe it's yet to come.
be bloody difficult. He's 6 feet under. He died back in 2005. Difficult to find mates like that nowadays.
Yeah.
So we're 50 odd minutes.
Got any other guests coming in tonight, Tim?
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, the bird's gone out. I don't know where they are.
Mm.
So,
No.
I mean, next week we're having another mental health special, and
good.
It's going to be
one.
Going to be an open mental health special next week. So
good.
Not just veterans. So we're going to sort of broaden it out a bit. I've got a few guests lined up already. They're going to come on and have a chat. So,
I mean, when you spoke about the ancestry earlier, I was meant to stop you and tell you a little bit about this. But when when my parents done the old family tree, it went back. The Donaldson name went back all the way to Scotland, obviously, and we have our own kilt and clan, Donald, obviously, and and along the line on my mother's side, there was a maid at one of the royal palaces that lost their jobs and soon after were paid off. And she had a baby. So whoever knows, I might even be the next king if they had to do a dig up of the old royal lines, because you can follow it through that she left like the royal palace. Don't ask me which one it is, but she left then, and then she had a massive lump of money left to her. Then she gave birth. So a bit interesting.
So we haven't had many people put a like, subscribe, and share and comment, have we?
I don't know. I can't see.
I can pop the odd comment up here. Look, there you go.
Oh, you're doing well, William. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean that was on Twitch. This is on faceache, and that's on YouTube. Oh, you've turned your mic up then.
Huh?
You got that? You got that on something else, have you?
Yeah, no, I'm just watching.
It's also on LinkedIn, but I've not seen it on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So, there was one other story I was going to look at today, and I don't know if you saw this. What they found?
Oh yeah, the
Endurance off of Shackleton.
Hmm.
He was an amazing geezer. Old Ernest Shackleton. What he did, I mean, he lost his boat down here, and he managed to. The whole crew survived.
Hmm.
And they were on a.
Stuck in some ice, didn't it?
Yeah, it was crushed and sunk, but they managed to get out, and he did lose one of his men. That's proper leadership. Proper leadership, and there it is at the bottom of the Ogden, 3,000 metres down.
Yeah, perfect condition. It's very much
meters.
as if it could sail again.
Yeah, it didn't crush that much. Oh, here we go. This made me laugh. This really did make me laugh. Hang on. Where am I going? Need to hide something here.
For those of you that thought masks work, here is a bombshell. Can't get rid of your comments there, Tim. Oh look, I'm on the telly, Mum.
Oh yeah. How do I stop that? Oh, I see what I've done. Hang on. I keep pinging all these things about.
Bit of technical difficulty.
All the time. All the time. I'll put that. Let's see somewhere. We're not going to figure out where I had it.
Oh, don't worry. I think everyone can read it.
Yeah. Why is that on there? That should be. Oh, I know. That one. There you go. Now you can see it. I saw this on faceache the other day, and I thought, yep. How much truth is that, eh?
The thing is, that they said that we had to wear a mask for it wasn't even an airborne virus, was it?
Yeah, it was an airborne virus, and
that was the swabs, wasn't it? It didn't catch airborne viruses. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, 95% of masks are totally ineffective against the coronavirus because it's an airborne virus, and these things ain't. You couldn't make it up. Well, there you go. I mean, so for all those that believe that the mask worked, here's your new bomb shelter when the Russians come. It's
lovely bit of it
from a nuclear bomb.
Oh yeah.
I did find it really amusing. So we're an hour in. Let's get. Let's take that back to there, and this. All right. Someone on the phone.
That's me. Hang on.
This person can't answer.
No, I was just trying. Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's right. Yeah, I started off talking about Afghanistan and the crisis that's continuing there, but the whole of the world seems to not bothering with it. They've gone to Ukraine instead, and there's about 25 million people starving to death in Afghanistan at the moment.
Well, I mean, my personal opinion on the Afghan crisis was that it was really unthought out. We pulled all of our troops out just because
We
Biden
didn't have
wanted
an
to
awful
make
lot of
it for
choice,
an anniversary. Yeah, it was a
unfortunately.
thing led by America, just to have it done by the 20th anniversary of the 9/11,
Yeah. And
which made no sense.
the chaos that it caused and the death and destruction that they left behind was just unbelievable.
Yeah,
And I've still got friends stuck there that I'm in communication with, and they're having a pretty miserable time of it, I can tell you.
blimey.
And the weather's not helping either. I mean, the weather there at the moment is pretty horrendous. I was just looking at some images today of around Kabul, and the snow, and it's pretty honking at the moment. But there you go. I mean, there's the world's turned its back on them again,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
and again, that was to get someone out. I mean, we was never at war with the Taliban in the first place.
No, we went in there originally to get them out of there. I mean, they were harbouring terrorists that were attacking the Western world. I mean, that's 9/11 was all done by
Yeah,
Osama bin Laden. So that's how I ended up in Afghanistan myself. I was
yeah,
in Macedonia on an operation when 9/11 happened, and actually watched it happen unfold. And then 5 months later, I found myself in Kabul, thinking, "What have I done this time? Who have I upset?" Yeah, that was a bit of
yeah.
a guilt.
Well, I mean, again, I mean that's just the media. I mean, when you look at Ukraine now, where's COVID? It's just disappeared. It doesn't exist now. I mean, all
What
the
was COVID?
daily government briefings. Yeah,
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
gone.
and those two idiots, Valence and Whitty, got themselves a night of the piece, haven't they? And where are they now? Gone back into their little bloody
Everyone's
hovels, I
holiday
suppose.
somewhere.
Hiding.
Yeah,
Can't justify
yeah,
themselves now, can they? And the really good part of news today is that Sage has been disbanded. Hurrah! No more bloody idiots telling us that we're all going to die.
well, we are, but not just yet.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we've all got the same ticket. We're all going to die one day, aren't we? So,
No returns.
yeah.
Ooh,
But there you go,
nice.
these things. So, we've got people watching. Why don't you put a comment in the comments box? Be nice if they put a comment in. So,
Yeah, I mean, I just realised that we said that our committee meeting would be today.
did we?
Between the 8th and the 10th.
All right.
So I checked my things, and I thought, I swear there's a committee meeting coming up soon, and I checked it, and it was meant to be sometime over this week, a couple of days.
All right. I didn't have it in my diary.
No, because James has just got the.
What's James doing?
James has just messaged in the group chat.
All right. Is he watching?
I don't think so. Never happened as. I'll invite him.
Yeah. Tell him to get on here. Right. I'm just gonna. What am I going to do? I'm going to do a little bit of. If I can find it, I'm going to put a little bit of a video up, and then I'll be back in a few minutes. Hang on, let's Let's get this. Put that one on. And then stand by because we're going to do this.
The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.
Welcome to the Tim Heale Podcast. This is a little bit of new for me. I'm going live stream tonight on Facebook. So if you'd like to join me, ping me a message and I'll ping you the link. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to let you set the agenda for the old Thirsty Thursday rant. So if you want to join me, you know what to do. Thanks for listening.
The Tim Heale Podcasts. Ordinary people's extraordinary stories.
And we're back in the room. So, what are we up to nowadays? So we've had some interesting stuff going on in the last week or two. We've had this fuel crisis. I mean, is it a fuel crisis? Is it really a fuel crisis, or is it just profiteering? That's what I want to know. Are these people profiteering? My local gas station, my local petrol station has put up the price of diesel from $1.48 to $1.72 in the last week. Is that right? Is it? What do you guys think out there? What do you guys think out in the land? Eh? What are we up to? Where are we going with all of this? We are struggling. I mean, it's bad enough that they're putting the price of your heating bills up, the price of gas is going up, the price of heating oil is going up, taxes going up, everything's going up next month. And now they've just loaded you with an awful lot of a big fuel bill. It's going to go to £2 a litre. £2 a litre before you know it. So what's going to happen there? Talk about what to do, whether to heat or eat. Going to be a lot worse than that, isn't it? There'll be people won't even be able to get to work. I mean, you just might as well just give your whole pay packet over to the government and be done with it. What do you do? Who do you get in touch with? I mean, it's just getting out of hand now. It is just getting out of hand. We are talking, I mean, just the amount of money that people are going to lose. You can't make it up. Oh, I've got messages coming in and all sorts here. Oh. So, I don't know where everybody is tonight. I'll send messages out today for people who said they were going to come and join in. But we're now into the second hour. We're in the second hour. And we're still waiting for people to come in to the live show. I don't know where my old mate Harry's got to. He normally turns to. So I've got some other things to play with on here. This there was something new that they came up with. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's go there. See what happens. Oh. How's that? Nice little bit of music in the background. Oh, should we go into space? That sounds like... Does that sound like going into space to you? I think let's do some rock. See what they give us a rock. Yeah. So we've got some vibes going on in the background today. So for those that don't know, this live stream is coming out. Let me put something up here to show what this live stream is all about. Where's it gone? Well, there we go. Put it up in the corner. So this is all powered by an app called. Well, it's not even an app. It's all web based and it's going out via the StreamYard. And this gives me the ability to do an awful lot of stuff with it. So not only can I go live stream, I can push it out on Facebook, I can push it out on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter and Twitch, all at the same time, all off the one platform. I don't think there is any other platform that you can do that on, certainly not all at once. So that's what I can do with that to start with. Then I can add in all this other stuff. So I can pop that in. So it says we're going live. Take that one off. There you go. So you can see it's live with StreamYard. And because I pay for a professional, I can take off all the watermarks and stuff that they put on. So let's go back here. Let's take that off. I've even got my own banner. Look, bang! For those that don't know, I run a podcast. I've got a podcast. It's called Ordinary People's Extraordinary Stories. And if you haven't had a chance to have a listen to it, dive in. It's on all the main podcast apps. So you can dive in there and you can listen. There's 126 episodes, and I've got a lot more in the bag to come as well. So if you've not tried podcasts, give it a go. Also on this platform, on YouTube, I've got a YouTube channel, and quite a few of the interviews I've done are also on YouTube. I've been experimenting with it, shall we say, in the past, and I'm getting a lot better at it. Since I've started using this platform, I've been able to get these podcasts properly sorted out on let's go for a night drive on both platforms. So because this allows me to record, I can record an interview on video and also audio, and then I can download separate audio tracks, put those into Adobe Audition and edit it down there, and then I can bring the video down, or it can go straight up. I mean, after this will go straight up, and this will be available to watch after once we've finished the live stream, and you'll be able to see this whole episode on YouTube, but it allows me to bring down the video and edit the video in Adobe Premiere Pro, so I can put backs and forward, adding comments and stuff like that as I do it, and then I could push that up onto YouTube. So I've been pretty busy with that of late, and I'm on this pod match, which sets me up with guests and me as a guest as well, so I can go on other people's show. At the moment, I am number 1 in the global list of hosts. I'm currently sat at number 1 as a host on StreamYard on Podmatch. Number 1, numero uno. That's me as a host. So if you want to come on my show and tell your story, get in touch. It's easy to get in touch with me. There's loads of different ways to get in touch with me. You can get in touch via this how we're doing. So there's my podcast, and you can get me if you want on YouTube. You can get me on there. You can ping me a message. Just go into Facebook or YouTube, ping me a message, and we can arrange to do your story. It's all about telling your story. I'll start off, I asked you when and where you were born, and then I asked you to describe what it was like where you grew up, the schools you went to, and the education you received. And then when we've exhausted that little subject, then we'll look at your work life, and we'll go through and we'll have a chat about what work you've done over the years and one thing or another. And then we'll focus in on a specific area of your life that you want to talk about. So I've had people want to talk about their books, people want to talk about their mental health, people want to talk about all manner of things. And we can do that. And it's all about leaving a legacy for your children, your grandchildren, and for generations to come for the future. So they'll know what you did with your life when you're gone. And they'll be able to see what you're doing. All right, William, I can see you. Right, William's back in the room. Bosh. There he is.
I thought you left me out there in the cold.
No, you said you popped off for a minute, so I saw you come back, but I was in a bit of flow. I was just telling.
I am the flow, Tim. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to show you something. So I'm going to request to share my screen, and then I can show you what I've been doing.
Right. Oh, this should be good. So should we keep the music going, or should we kill the music?
No, keep the music going. Makes it less awkward. I'm joking.
So we're night driving at the moment.
Yeah. Don't mind
Can
that.
you share your screen?
I am trying to. Hang on, I'm getting loads and loads and loads and loads of notifications all through. Chrome tab. Oh, there we are. Share. Right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
So.
Oh.
Can you see it all right?
That's what you've been doing, is it?
Yeah. So
it's
all about. Yeah. So it's about. Well, as I said, it's nothing linked to the group or anything like that. It's something that I can get into if I go on adventures and things in different countries. I have no idea what my laptop's making that much noise. So it's a collection of war stories, military, and as I said, adventures to different countries. Now, the main topic is World War I, World War II, but we also will be covering other periods, such as the Yugoslavian conflicts. I've got a really good connection through Ellis. His father was part of the NATO peacekeeping force there.
Peacekeeping forces.
So, I said,
in Bosnia.
Yeah. So, yeah, Bosnia. So this is a new page that hasn't got many likes. I think it's only got 50 at the moment. So we can scroll down. The first official post I done was about the World War I Brodie helmet. Now this was actually one of the most common steel designed helmets used by the British Empire during the First World War.
I was still using them until the late 70s.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, well, I mean, it's you had two variants. You had your Mark One, and then as 1944 came around, you had your Turtle variant, which is a more of a slight variant, which is probably used up until, well, the one I've got in my collection. I think it's stamped 50s, so that the Korean War and things like that period, and it was used, as you say, up until the 80s. It was done what it needed to do, and over 7.5 million tin hats were manufactured between 1915 and the First World War's end. So it was iconic. You know, what do you think about when you speak about a Tommy a Tommy? It's the helmet. It's so recognisable, I think. Then we've got our YouTube channel. If it loads.
YouTube? You on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
You got a video on it, have you?
If it ever loads. Only a trailer.
Yeah, I need to do a new trailer, I think.
It's not like a problem. That's about as far as my editing skills go to. That's it.
All right, a bit of gunshot, is there?
So, yeah, that's what you get into. You're not getting anything else. But so I mean, we try and get a cheap design software so that I can start doing videos and things. But that's the type of things I'm going to be doing in my free time, aside of the group stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you had much free time.
No, I don't. Just about
anyway,
gospel history.
Yeah, you'll have a bit of free time on Sunday evening. So Sunday evening we're doing a live stream for the Portsmouth and Gosport History Group. It's called the live stream, and we're going to be talking about history of Portsmouth and Gosport. So hopefully we'll get.
What's that called again? What are we covering?
Stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I've invited John. I've invited John. He says he can most likely make it. I've invited Jonathan Moore. He's yet to respond to my invitation. And you said you've spoken to Matt about it, didn't you? Or you're speaking to him?
Yeah, Matt was going to join us tonight, but he's not well. So
okay. Is he able to join Sunday?
He might. See how he is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
we'll get him sooner or later, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's fine. See how it goes, I suppose. But other than that, I've had fun joining you tonight, Tim. I'm gonna have to call it quits because I've got things to do. Even though I ain't got any free time. And good luck with the rest of your live stream.
Well, I'll keep plugging the. Hang on, let me just add to it. Where are we? There. You talk for a second.
Okay. Well, what do the viewers want to hear then? Talking about the old the fuel prices and things, and I messaged in the private group chat. I said, "Who are you going to call?" Because Tim kept mentioning, "Oh, who are we going to turn to? Who are we going to do this?" I said, "Ghostbusters." You know, why not? They seem to fix everything these days. But it's not looking good though, is it? The old fuel crisis and
it's getting out of hand.
Huh?
it's getting out of hand.
Well, as you said the other day, I think it's just that in the government statistics, they said we only had 1% of Russian oil and fuel, but we actually
we take in very little Russian fuel.
we don't. Well, we do actually, because
less than 5%, something like that.
But they say we only get 1% from Russia, whereas we buy most of it from a different country who gets it from Russia. So technically, we're still relying on Russians' fuel. But I mean, Saudi Arabia's taken up the slack, haven't they now?
Well, I mean, they're set to make an absolute killing. I mean, they use it as an excuse, I think, to say that there's a massive shortage of, we can't produce enough quick enough, and one thing and another, and that's how they push the price up, because it's in short supply, and it's a right old racket, if you ask me.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's
of course
a
it is.
proper
Well,
racket.
Yeah, well, when everyone else is making the money while most of us are struggling.
Yeah. And
But
they go on about saying all government handouts and all the rest of it. It ain't government handouts at all. It's taxpayers' handouts.
yeah,
And it's taxpayers that pick up the bill every single time. I mean, they're on about. They what they're saying is that they're going to bring in loads of Ukrainians now. Fair enough. I mean, they're in dire straits. They're the ones that's going to come here until it's safe to go back, and they'll go back. But it's the amount of illegal economic migrants that we are paying for. I mean, £125 a day to put up one of these Urks in a hotel. And there are thousands of them. There was close on 30,000 came in last year, and there's 8,000 odd the year before. And I don't know what we're up to already this year, but they're already outstripped last year's numbers.
I mean, that's the thing that grinds my gears, is the fact of they travel through multiple green safe countries.
Yep.
But they don't want France, they don't want Germany, they don't want any of the other countries. They want Britain because we're soft. We give them money, we give them a house. Whereas our poor veterans, or people who actually need it, like the elderly, don't get anything. They don't get any support. Like my grandmother, she's not getting any support now. She's old, that she's paid all in her life. She's getting nobody supports each other. But this chap comes off the boat from France. He gets a house, he gets an allowance, he gets food, and then they have.
Well, at the moment they ain't, because they haven't got any houses to give. They're stacking them in hotels, so they're living like life of Riley in an hotel. Free phone.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're building all the houses for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're trying to stop them, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me started. But I'm gonna have to call it a night now. But I will speak to you soon.
All right, William. You take it easy, and we'll catch up in the week when we have the committee meeting. I have to give Liz
bye.
Au revoir, bonne chance. Well, that's William out of it. So you're left with me for the time being until I can get till one of my other guests turns up. I don't know where they are tonight. I've done my best to try and to bring them in. I don't know whether it can't be anything wrong with the system. I don't think it's the system that's wrong. I think it's the people's wrong. So, if you are there, if you can just give us a nod in the chat box, just to say hi, because at the moment I don't think I've got anybody. I mean, we can go on rattling on for hours yet. So anyway, let's bring this back up. So let's go and have a look at some of the stuff that we're doing here. So we were on about J.K. Rowling and her getting slated in the old press earlier, and this crazy bill that they've got going on in Scotland. I mean, this is putting women's lives at risk. It really is. So some geezer, right? Get this. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to say, I identify as a woman, and they'll stick you in a women's prison. You can go and use the ladies. Blokes can go and use the ladies. Is that right? Is that right? Because it's their rights. I think it's wrong. I really think it's wrong. They need to take a sensible look at it. They need to look at it, a common sense look at it. Just saying that if you say you're a woman, you can go in a women's prison. You don't have to prove that you're anything. You don't have to show that you're taking anything for it. You don't have to show that you're having your bits cut off. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to say, I identify as a woman, and then you get put up in a women's prison and all that. It's wrong. It's wrong. Anyway, a couple of weeks to go, and the new Secrets of Dumbledore, Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore's out. Really starting to look forward to that now. It's been a long time coming. I mean, let's face it, COVID killed it to start with, didn't it? COVID took the fun out of it, so they had to halt everything for the best part of a bloody year. But they've been at it again. Here we go. Here's 8th of April it releases. Build up the excitement. It should be good. Here's some of the scenes that they've done. This is obviously there they are in Hogwarts. They go back to Hogwarts. So how did they do that? Did they obviously had a deal with the studio did they go back and use the original sets? Love to know. We were there just a while ago. My wife wanted to go to Warner Brothers, the making of at Leavesden, so for her birthday. So we booked all of that, and then it came to her birthday, and we were locked down, so we had to change the date, and then we had to change the date again, and we finally went a couple of months ago. Brilliant. There's some new exhibits in there and stuff like that. So I don't know whether they've used it in this latest incarnation of the Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. Should be really good. And old Professor McGonagall is featuring in it apparently. So she's in there. And there's a few more scenes from it. So that's and then we go on to these idiots. Tire extinguishers, these nerks are called. What's that all about? Where do they get their ideas from? Are they total idiots? I don't know if you ever saw the interviews with that what was her name, Tracy from she was one of these stinking rebellion what do you call it, spokesperson from Milton Keynes. God dear. You won't listen to me. Why won't you listen to me? She was going, oh gosh, it was awful. Yeah. Why they kept having her on, I don't know. Why they give these people airtime is beyond my comprehension. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, she just attacked everybody. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. We're all gonna die. Our kids are gonna starve. Just because they won't put up a bit of insulation. What, have you got insulation? That's not a point. She ain't got insulation in her own home. Oh, I can't afford it. Well, perhaps you got off your fat arse and went out and done some work. You'd be able to afford it instead of wasting your time protesting, winding everybody up, gluing yourself to the road. Yeah, a stinking rebellion lot, and these vandals. Right? Look, going around letting down people's tyres, that is dangerous. If you don't notice it, you're going off and you're straight onto a motorway doing 70 miles an hour, and your tyre comes off, and then you're causing a massive pile up. Perhaps that's what these idiots want. Perhaps that's what they want. Got to ask yourself. Anyway, they've been issuing these notices saying, attention, your gas guzzler kills. Really? I think these idiots kill, actually. And police should be rounding them up. But the police are too busy worrying about people's hurty words and pronouns. And then the price of fuel. I mean, the price of fuel is getting out of hand. It's gone up. It was $1.48 the other week, and now it's $1.72. How do they justify a jump like that? And I've seen others that are even more, $1.76. At this rate, we ain't going to be able to live. We're not going to be able to do anything. I mean, price of fuel goes up. Trucks have to buy fuel to get all the food to the shops, so that all goes up because now the expense is passed on to the consumer, which is us. There you go. That's from the other day, the 8th of March, RAC Fuel Watch. They certainly didn't get the figures from around here. Figures are a lot higher around here. But, yeah. And there's retailers to pass on the cost savings to most. What cost savings? There isn't any cost savings. It ain't going to happen, is it? They're just going to fleece us to death. And then you get this stinking rebellion lot going to go around blocking fuel depots. And stand against fossil fuels. Really? Perhaps they ought to put these people out in the sticks somewhere. Live like hermits. Take away all their amenities. Make them live in caves where they've got nothing. Yeah. What's your opinion of these stinking rebellion lot and these insult Britain? I think they should lock a lot of them up. Look at this. Stop funding fossil fuels. Really? Oh, what do you want? Let's have nuclear. Let's invest in these micro-nuclear reactors. Stop them all over the place. One small nuclear reactor can can do massive amounts of houses. I mean, look what they do on a nuclear submarine. Produces all the power for that. They can stay down there. Well, they're limited to the amount of time they can stay down because they run out of food. But all the systems on board can keep going forever. They reckon that 50 years easy. So there you go. There you have it. That's my take on it. We'll stop the music. Let's knock that off. Oh, there you go. What's this one? Acoustic cinematic. So this is a new feature that they put on to StreamYard. So it allows you some music in the background. That's nice, isn't it? Mind you, I don't know whether this works. I don't know, I could know it, could you? Well, that should be a bit of a laugh. Is that recording there? No, I can't hear that, is it? I'll do that and then do that again. You should be able to hear it. That's me telling a joke then. So, we've got about 17 minutes left. And I'm struggling. I'm buckling under the pressure here. Right. Don't want noise in the background, do we? Let's let me a night in the pub. Let's just drop that one down. There we go. We're back in a different pub. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I've got another podcast to record this evening after this. So, I'm going to be up. It's going to be another late one for me, I'm afraid. It's going to be another late one. However, I've had some fantastic guests. I've had some brilliant guests on recently talking about all manner of stuff. And I've got quite a few good ones lined up. So if you've not listened to any of my podcasts yet, I can only urge you to go on. Let me just pull it out for you. So there you go. That's my Buzzsprout. That's where I post all of my podcasts. So if you're driving somewhere, hook up your phone, plug it into your car, hit the podcast. It's on all the major podcast apps. It's on Spotify, it's on Amazon, it's on Apple, it's on Deezer, it's on Google. It's on all the major podcast apps. So you've got no excuse. And then you can get it on the Buzzsprout page as well. That's the website. And also, there's quite a lot of them that I've done that are on YouTube. So not only can you listen to them, you can watch them as well. I've had some really, really fascinating guests on of late. It's not all about me ranting, you know. It's not all about me ranting. I've had some fantastic chats with some really interesting people. And I've also been on a couple of other people's podcasts. I've been a guest. And I've been a guest on the Beautiful Bastards podcast. that was a lot of fun. A couple of guys in America, we were having a proper chat. And who else had I did? Done so much lately. I don't know whether I've been coming or going half the time. However, that said, it's all been good. I've been really enjoying it. And I've got a few guest spots lined up where I'm going to be a guest on other people's podcasts. So I'm looking forward to doing those and to having different chat about different stuff. So watch out for that as well. I'll put that out there so you can have a listen to those. Oh, excuse me. Keep awake. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll just show you what my actual studio looks like, because I guess you've kind of figured out by now that I'm not in a pub. I would like to be, but I'm not. But here's my setup. Put me back in the room. So if you have a look there, I've got 2 green screens. I've got 2 uplighters, diffuser lights, which give us this fantastic light in here. What else have we got? So we've got the old got my deck over here, and this is where I can put in the old bits of music. Now, just as an aside, that was number 1 the week I was born. Did you know that? Yeah. So what I've got is 3 monitors on the go here, plus my main computer. So I'm watching it here in YouTube. I've got it there on Twitter, and I've got it there on Facebook. Now it's interesting because the one on Facebook is actually typing as we go. It's got subtitles on it. Who knew that? Who saw that coming? So anyway, I've got a little bit of a drink for after the show. Once I'm done here, I shall have a little snifter. I'll probably have a little snifter actually after I've done my next guest, because I need to be sharp. I need to be on the ball for interviewing, because that's what I do. I interview people. Now, if you want to come on and tell your story, I have my podcast and YouTube, because I record it now on this StreamYard system. What I do is I ask my guests when and where they were born. Then I ask them to describe what it was like when they grew up, the sort of schools they went to, and the education that they received. And we'll have a chat about that, and then we'll go through that. And then what we'll do is we'll then look at their work history, and we'll go through what they did at work, whether they went on to university, what they did after school, and what they did with their life, and bring them up to where they kind of are now. And then we'll focus in on something that they want to talk about. And some of the people I've spoken to recently have done some fantastic things. You wouldn't believe some of the things that some of the people I've spoken to have done. So, I've also got over there is my guest mic. So if you want to come in to this fantastic studio of mine, where I'm in a pub, you can be in a pub as well, or let's just swap that out. Let's just put something else in, shall we? Let's have a look, see what we've got here. Let's go into the mountains. Dun, dun, dun. So, looking out over the mountains. What about that? Who knew that was there? And yeah, there's so much I can do with this. This is a great, great system. So let's finish it off with the. If I move out the way, who's that over my shoulder? Right? Who's that over my shoulder? Is that the ship's cat? I believe that's the ship's cat over my shoulder. That's Artie, the ship's cat. And I wonder if anybody can tell me where that is, where that picture was taken. I know because I was there. I took it. So let's just drop that down out of the way because we don't need that. So we've got, he's looking over my shoulder again. He's looking over my shoulder. He's a little boy. Look at him. Check him out. Is he something else? He is a proper little bundle of joy. He's by Artie. He's missing being a ship's cat, to be honest. I'm missing the boat. Really am. In case you didn't know, we sold the boat last year. A bit of a sorry story, really. I was struggling I'm actually still struggling at wandering around. I'm having some problems with my hips. So we took the decision to reef early with the boat. I knew I was going to get to a stage where I wouldn't be able to get on and off it without an awful lot of pain, a lot of struggling. And you know what it's like nowadays waiting for hip and knee operations. And I didn't want to get to the stage where the boat, where I couldn't even get on it to do anything. So, and she's a boat that really needs to be sailed. I mean, she is a gorgeous boat. So we took the decision and we sold her. However, having said that, then I've still got an opportunity to be able to go and sail on other people's boats. So the old OPBs, other people's boats, I can jump on. We got a Wednesday series coming up, a race series on a Wednesday evening that runs out of Hornet, and it's the Hornet Rinser series. And the spring series starts on the 30th of March. So I'm hoping to get a spot on somebody's boat. So if anybody out there, any of my sailing friends need an handy crew on a Wednesday evening race series, give us a shout. I'll dust off my old sailing gear and I'll come out and give you a hand. And as long as you don't take it too serious, I'm not a serious racer, but it's just getting out in the water and it's only for a couple of hours anyway. It's only for a couple of hours. I need you back into the clubhouse for a curry and a pie or whatever, and a pint. And it'll be off down to the other pub to do the quiz. So that's the plan. That's the way forward for the next few months. While I'm waiting, I had an X-ray yesterday where I had my pelvic done. I've got to wait until the 20th of April before seeing a specialist. So I'm a statistic at the moment. I'm on a list. I'm on a waiting list. I wonder how long that list is going to be. But there you go. These things are sent to tries. So we're just coming up to the 2-hour mark now. So we've got 5 minutes or 4.5 minutes to go with this live stream. So next week is going to be a mental health special. I've already got a few guests that are lined up that want to come and have a chat. is going to be 2 hours dedicated to talking about mental health issues, destigmatizing mental health. I mean, mental health is a horrible thing. People that are suffering with mental health problems, it's horrible. It really is. I mean, you see people about and you think, God, Strafe, I'm glad I'm not in that state. But it's easy. It's an easy route to go down. It's an easy thing to let things get to you. And that's what we're going to be talking about next week. So we're going to be looking at mental health issues in and around. We're looking at ways of coping with it, ways of treating it, ways of combating mental health issues to start with. If we can just save one person, if we can stop one person from going down that road of needing real interventive help, then we might have achieved the aim of helping. There's 2 or 3 groups that I know of locally that help veterans, and the NHS. I've had experience of the NHS mental health system, and whilst it's good for civilian types, it's not overly fantastic for the military. However, having said that, there are an awful lot of there's a lot in the NHS now that is geared up for veterans, and the help is there. The hardest part of that is asking for that help. And once you understand, once you realise that you've got an issue, and you have asked for that help, then it's all downhill from there, or uphill, downhill. Yeah, I think once you've come to that realisation that you've got a problem, then there are people out there that can help. There are somewhere around about 2,500 charities just for veterans, and a huge amount of those are for veterans' mental health and helping with those problems. So anyway, here we are. We're 2 hours in. We're at the end of Thursday live stream. So for those that joined us in, thanks for your time. Really do appreciate it. I would also appreciate if you give the old tick the thumb to give it a like. I'd like it even more if you subscribe to the channel and put comments in the chat box. That's really nice. And if you think it's something your friends might like, then please share it with them. I'm sure they would like to see what we get up to. So, in the meantime, I thank you for watching.